No, no. Nope. The white cannot go away now. I've forgotten how to stream. There we go. Get rid of that. That's my dog Pepper. Dr. Pepper ASMR, exactly. Exactly. I also realised that Zodiac commented in interesting thoughts, which means he'd have to wait like 8 hours or whatever the rating is before he can post the penguin fact. So for Zodiac, if you wanted to, so you can post the penguin fact in Bad's claim. Because you won't be able to post for like another 6 or 7 hours to get a penguin badge. Okay. Also, smelly candle. Wait, Mike picks up my chair, doesn't it? This chair's falling apart. Like, I'm sure you guys have it, that fear of when you're on the chair and it's only got one point, but then the top of the chair sits on it. Your big fear is one day that chair is going to break and the chair is going to go up the metal bar. Because that's how my chair works. It's, rails, one bar, then the chair's on top of it. I'm convinced mine's starting to break and the metal bar is about to come flying through up the bar. This won't be nice. Oh, I was looking at facts where I ended up reading a new article. You can post a whole article if you want. I decided I want to know more about penguins. Because I only found out this year that penguins and polar bears would never meet in the wild. I was convinced they're like neighbours and stuff. You're tuning Stranger Time to stream, man. Heyo, welcome in, Sirius. I won't be mostly lurking though, I'm working, he gets stuff done, no worries, Sirius. Hi Zodiac. Hey Sirius. Hi Zodiac. Do you think you'll finish the giant today? That's the plan. I have to find the article again. No worries, Zodiac. Yeah, so Sirius, I went back to work, so streaming became incredibly difficult. And I had this week off, but I had to catch up. I've been told, like, Lizzie had a message like an hour ago when I woke up. I've got next week off as well. So, but my plan is today to just stream all day and get this done. Dang, it looks like you have loads of tiles ahead of you. I'll be rooting for you. Oh yeah, I'm here. I dropped a gay penguin fact, but I'll take care of badges later. Yeah, the badges, I said, there's no rush. Because I'm live, they're still at work, the badges will be fixed. And they will have a heart attack if she sees what Zodiac's name's done in the leaderboard. I find it funny. Also, I dropped a gay penguin. That's good to know. 18. Let's see. That's a pain. How am I going to do it? I'm going to do the ring first. But yeah, don't worry too much about the badges for now. We'll catch up on them later. This is the first time I've released the badges and I've not been there to sort of direct them as I've done it. But yeah, it'll be a much more peaceful stream. I'm just setting up the clicker here as well. I think I explained it before. Clicker Heroes isn't one of those idle games you just put in the background like Cookie Clicker. But it's going to achieve to hit 3,600 worlds, 3,600. And I'm getting so close. So if I don't talk much about what I'm doing, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I said this is going to be a very chilled out stream. Like, I'm not going to be focusing on talking that much. I will add more because it feels great to be back on stream, but you know, eventually it's going to be, if I'm streaming all day as I plan to, I'm going to run out of things to talk about eventually. Okay, let's set that up, and then press this button. But yeah, so I'm on 3,475, which is ridiculously close. Soon, hopefully, I will get that team, and this is the one game that's taken me the longest to complete because I've looked at my stats. I've got well over 1,000 hours on this game. But this is what I do when I go sleep. I leave this game on so I get all the points. And I wake up, set up like the next sort of clicking stuff, and then carry on my day. And that's at the end of the day, so I basically jump on and off this game. That's a good description. I am so good at describing stuff. But yeah, my plan is to get this dragon done today. I would then order another one, but I had to drop I bought a headset right after I bought new bedding and pillows and everything, so my money's running low just this week, this month even. So basically I won't be painting again until next month. Probably won't do another one on stream either. Like there's so many times I've wanted to sit down and paint this, but couldn't. For various reasons. I've literally dedicated today to the check when parcel is due. Yes, sir, I don't know if you've ever seen Tob the Badders in my Discord, but you're more welcome to join in if you want. Penguins can gay. There's been a few well-documented cases of two male penguins forming lifelong relationships, and there's one couple that adopted an egg and raised a child. I've heard that story before. I saw it like on some Instagram things. I didn't know how serious it was, but where it was like, these two penguins have adopted a child, these two male penguins. I thought that was amazing. But why not? Penguins are what who've find love and stick with them for life, aren't they? You know, I don't think penguins mostly form lifelong relationships, and they do. They can still also cheat on each other. Thank you, Sirius. In other words, so if the fact that your husband left you makes you feel unattractive, doesn't mean penguins get cheated on and they're adorable. Okay, that's really heartwarming at the end. Lady Asker, welcome in. Welcome in. We are discussing penguins. Because in my Discord I released a new badge and I said about, give me some interesting penguin facts. And so people posted a few in there. I posted that penguins and polar bears will never meet because they live on the opposite ends of the planet, sorry. They're posted that they can be gay, and Sarah's posted that they can get cheated on. So, that's what it was. I love it. It's like, give me some penguin facts, F1. Penguins are gay! But they are, I guess. It fits the theme, doesn't it? Oh, I also, look, I want to sew off my hoodie. It's my Rainbow Galaxy one. So there's, so today, Lady Asker, I plan on finishing this. I've literally pushed everything else aside so I can finish this today. So however long it takes, I will be streaming for. And then depending on how long it takes, we both want to post a gay penguin, but I was faster. What are the chances there's a gay penguin emo to put in the Discord? Because I find that amazing. Like, how often do you get to say that line? We both want to post the gay penguins. So, yes, how are you in, Lady Asker? I know you've been busy with work and commissions, I believe. I'll make it later. Hey, there you can make them. Ah, there you can make them. We'll work out how to, like, pay people. Because there is an excellent mod, but I'm like, what can I do in return? It's like friendship. But it's like, okay, but we're already friends. What can I do to, like, repay you for you helping me? Sip me Dr. Pepper. I think at this point the country's actually opening up again, so it's allowing it. So in theory, I could start posting stuff. Because I don't know if you would remember there, a long time ago, a group of us started talking about sending sweets from our countries to each other. So like we would get in like hula hoops. Who has hula hoops? But I think finally it's looking okay here, so I might actually be able to join in. Yeah, the sweets exchange. That's a I need to look into how much it would be to actually sip here. But I gotta send a bunch of stuff or find a bunch of stuff online that you guys might be interesting. Super busy, but I am happy I get to stream today, and with my new capture card, being concentrated on work will be hard today. I'm so excited already. Oh, I can imagine. When I got my capture card, I was super hyped for it. Because most of my stuff is done through my capture card. Because I play Xbox. Okay, found my gay penguin thing. That sentence is amazing to me. It's just like, let's scream gay penguins. I love it. But yeah, I look forward to that. Do you know how many hours time, Lady Asker, you plan on streaming? Because your time zone's different, so are you streaming in like say 8 hours? Which one do I use? I use a very cheap Amazon one. I believe it's in my description underneath Twitch. If you scroll down from the stream, it will say there. But it is actually a really cheap Amazon one, and it works pretty well. As this, you just plug in. The only confusing bit was it was picking up audio at one point from my voice, so I had to mute that. But like, I don't get how. It might be my Xbox. It might be like a mic on my Xbox. I don't know about. But I could pick up my voice, which is very interesting. Nobody else has posted her gay penguin thing. I also need to make a note. Found it. Bad claim. Black penguin. Gay male penguins still lesbian couples egg at Dutch zoo. So gay penguins still lesbian penguins eggs. I've got it. I mean, it makes sense. How rude. In around 10 to 11 hours, it's only 4. It's 5 AM here, and I think I'll start between 3 and 4. That's fair. I said this might take me 10 hours, so if it does, I'll really do. But I honestly don't know how long it's gonna take me. But I do look forward to it. Excuse me. I haven't really spoken since March. Because that's the thing, I work alone. I live in, I've said my living situation in the Discord. I basically just live in a room. I don't have access to the whole house. Like, my landlord's pretty laid back about that, but I mean, I bring my nieces and nephew here all the time. They're friends of the families. But, yeah, so I work alone, so much of the time alone, so I don't really get to talk that much, unless I'm on stream, and then I'm like, I must now talk for hours. So my voice is like, rarely used and used constantly. How's work going so far? exhausting. So I did week 1. I did 4 days, and they gave me the first day off. That was fine. I used to do I did what I used to do, and a bit extra. Because there used to be 5 cleaners. There's now 2. And then but then the following week I was doing a whole new building, and I was doing the whole building by myself. And come the Thursday, because again I worked 4 days, I actually fell asleep. I sat down at the desk, I was exhausted, and next thing I know I woke up 45 minutes later, and I was like, oh dear. Luckily I worked alone and no one called me. So it's been nice to go back to work, but they are definitely working me hard. And then they gave me 2 weeks off, so I don't know. At the moment they're not really sure what's going on, and apparently England's starting to go back up in cases, and there's, third lockdown being thrown about. The rumours of the third lockdown being thrown about again, so I'm not really sure what's happening. I try not to look at the news, literally everything is being blamed on coronavirus at the moment. Is that a fake candle? Yes. It is. It is. Can you smell it? I think I'm funny. I need to make a note. So Lady Ask is here, Sirius is here, Zodiac is here, and Odemi here is here. So everyone there, yes I do, Cat Ear Headset gives me a full 5D experience. Okay, I have a question. If you were on YouTube and you googled 8D, there's 8D music. What is it? Is that just where they put a mic around something? There's 8 mics, so it's 8 surround sounds. I see it a lot. I'm going to open Discord on my phone, and I'm going to just start giving people the dragon badge. Here's your hair. Smart user. That way I will remember. So Zodiac has the dragon head badge. There has the dragon head badge. Lady Asker has the dragon head badge. Lady Asker doesn't collect the badges, but she has both exclusive badges. And Sirius has the dragon head badge. Now we will catch this up later. I said when I'm off stream or when Deer's finished work, we will do the proper catching up and all that. 12. When I do that, I'm getting those edges. I highly encourage taking part in badges. It's a lot of fun. They are. I really enjoy them. I enjoy making them. Though I've actually fallen behind. I love the badges, and that's so me. Always getting exclusive limited different stuff. Yeah, so let's go. I know you obviously no pressure, but we made this badge thing where from now on I'm going to try and release a couple every Friday instead of what I was doing, just throwing them out at random. But basically badges you can collect. So for today, the badges that were released today are the penguin badge, which is give me a penguin fact and post it in the Discord. Then there was the cactus badge, which is to go and find a cactus somewhere in the world, the real world, and poker and get a picture of you poking it. So you're just poking a cactus for bad, because that's funny to me. That I can send people from the other side of the planet to go and poke a cactus. It's just so funny to me. That's why I've done that. And there's a word search bit. I've made a list of words, and every time someone clicks on it, it randomizes the letters, so no one can copy each other. But there's certain words you need to find, and you screenshot, send and say, "Hey, I complete your word search." That's it, Dave. Welcome in. How are you? We just say about my Discord and some of the badges I'm making there. That's a cool looking dragon. Thank you. It's taken a long time. I think I've done it all on stream, except the rings. I did bits of the rings off stream because I made a mistake, so I had to fix it. But yes, the badges are a lot of fun. A lot of people seem to really like them. I think it's good. So to me, when I made my Discord, I did not know what to do with it. I don't like the idea of having a Discord just dedicated to me, because I don't. Like, I understand why. It's like, so you can say it's your fan base, but in my mind, I want to give you guys a reason to be there. That wasn't just me. I know. I don't know. But the badges sort of give me that. It's like, here you go. Here's a fun collectible game that you guys can play in the Discord, and that's just collecting badges. And that way there's more to talk about than just, hey, Friday did this on a stream. Basically, it was nice to find a reason to have the Discord, because I don't feel like having it just in my name was worth it. Currently out like 27 badges, so if you want to catch up there, actually go ahead. If you do, check out, there's something called Badge Help, a channel called Badge Help. If you message in there, say, help me with badges, I will, when I'm available, literally walk you through what badges you need to get, what ones you want, and all stuff like that. I wanted the cooking badge, but couldn't get to cooking yet. Maybe a weekend. Yeah, I've been good. Been off work this week, so I'm all good, thanks. I had a nice week off. I had this week off as well, Dave. But Saturday and Sunday, I had my niece, then my nephew, then I had both of them on Monday, then I had my niece on Tuesday, then Wednesday, I was told someone was coming to look at my house because I'm moving soon, so I had to get everything tidied and cleaned and spotless. And then Thursday I had my niece here, and now today I'm painting all day. So I've had the week off, but been incredibly busy. Okay, I am checking these out regularly. I want the cooking bath. Oh, lady, that's good. You've seen this. I got to show this off. This is like my new favourite thing. The Necronom. Is it gonna fit? Yeah, the Necronom. It's upside down for you. Hang on. Necronom. It is such a cool book. So it's based on the H.P. Lovecraft stuff. It's got drinks, appetizers, soups and salads, main dishes, sides, breakfast, children's meals, desserts, some stuff, but it looks amazing. Like, I just love the artwork. My camera doesn't really do it justice. But like, prepare a large glass, bless it with a touch of thin tendril of wasabi. Do not complete encircle the rim, as this will allow revelers to imbibe as much or as little of the garnish as they wish. This has got some very creative writing. This one's made out of tree skin. It is made out of tree skin. It's amazing quality. Like, I've been getting really into books lately. I've got a book collection beyond my screen now, but I honestly feel like this is a well-made book. The one thing I will say is it's American and not English. So some of the stuff they say, like, you don't notice the difference until it's right in your face. Like, American and English are two different languages. the Necronom's gone. I saw it. Isn't that supposed to be made of human skin? You love HP Lovecraft World, so do I. Like, you're gonna love this then, Dave. You know what? Let me just hang on. You guys are going on an adventure. It's upside down. Check it out, Cthulhu. And my book collection. Ignore like the bad paint on the wall. Yes, my room's upside down. Not tied it. This is my bed. 4-room tour. So yeah, I have my webcam on upside down at the moment because of how I've had to set this up. But that's not correct. I hope that was fun. Yeah, I got Giant Cthulhu. This is probably my favourite prop at the moment. I do love his work, H.P. Lovecraft. He's like, so, for those who don't know, H.P. Lovecraft has been described as the grandfather of horror because he it's a lot of cosmic horror. It's not in your face, it's not. Put it this way, it takes me about 4 or 5 reads of the book before I understand exactly what's happening. Because it's very high level reading, if that makes sense. But it's amazing stuff. I don't know how to explain it, I'm not very good at it, but you look at Underwater, which is a movie that actually has Cthulhu in it, and they say it's a retelling and modernized version of the cooler Cthulhu. And it was very much, this, it could feed you everything. I feel like the H.P. Lovecraft books do not. It's all alluding to it. But I highly recommend them. Because once you get that sort of picture in your head of what's going on in the world, it's like, oh my god. Okay, let's see. Oh, is this the new headset? No, there's a new pops. Vlad the Impaler is out. Oh no, it has been dispatched. What time are you going to arrive? I got a new headset coming. This is why it's going to take me like 12 hours. Check your package. Oh, I guess that's broke again. Oops. Okay. Going to do number 17. The bigger thing first. Nightfall heavy meat again. I did think about doing a Nightbot badge, and what I was going to do is give Nightbot a random number, and if you guess that number, you get a badge. But I was thinking how, that does fill my time with people guessing numbers, but I don't know, it's in the works. I haven't figured out the exact details of it yet, but there will be a Nightbot badge at some point. Whilst my streams are going to become more and more erratic, given work, I do plan to keep streaming. So this isn't ideal, having to lift it up like this, but I got to do the edges. There we go. Can you make Nightbot being able to accept jewels? I don't know. I mean, I could, but it'd be. I get what you mean. I think it's why Seth's turning that up. I should also point out my alert was broken. I need to check that. This is why I need this screen. There we go. I need to do something with my alert. I'm going to try and manually make them because the thing I'm using keeps breaking every time when there's an update. So, and I fixed it and then it updated and it broke again. But how I have them working, it is a link to a website that then does it. And it breaks constantly. Yeah, put this back down. I used to have a. We can do this. What is it? Why do I need this then? Forgive me while I remember how to stream. There we go. We don't have music. You don't have music anymore. Oh. What button did I press? Do you now? Hopefully you have music now. Now it's on. There you go. See, so for those who don't know, I was chatting yesterday, because I've been listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks, and I'm on book 4, and I typed, I can't stop listening to them, I can't put it down, and then I took my headset off, and it snapped, meaning it doesn't work, so I had to stop listening to it. And now I've ordered some more with cat ears, because they had set up pink ones, so I bought them in black because I trust my friends' opinions over random strangers. Plus I don't really understand it. A lot of it's like, oh look at this, it's got all this cool features, and it's like, yeah, but that's just like what you're saying there is it plays sound. I love a good audiobook. Cat buddies. Yeah, I do as well. See, I've gone back into reading. Like, when I was a kid I used to read a lot, then as an adult, you get too busy. I try to make time to read. And now, currently, because I want to listen to Harry Potter again, I've got the audiobooks. I am planning on buying the books again. But currently, I don't have them. But audiobooks are a good way to do it. Like, I'd love to, because that's what I did when I was painting my dinosaur, and I just sat here listening to, was it a book? Oh yeah, I have a whole book though. Not being if you love cat stuff. But I enjoy reading and an audiobook, especially when I'm, like, on some Xbox games you need to grind, maybe it's like, for example, my current grinding Xbox game is World Rally Cross 7, and the achievement I need is to drive 5,000 kilometers. The longest track in the game is 18 kilometers, so I'm just, I've completed the game basically, and I'm just going through the career mode over and over. Now, so I'm just listening to the audiobook as I do it. Or I was. This is one of those moments of perfect timing where you're like, I can't put this down, and then it breaks, so you have to put it down. But hopefully, I plan on cooking again this week. something from that cookbook. I haven't decided what here. The drinks looked interesting, but I don't drink anymore, so let's see if I can make them with obviously like substitutes. Oh, the drink. I'm not like super against it, but I don't think there's any alcohol in my house. I don't think there has been in a year. Like I've not against drinking. I'm just one of the people. If I start, I'll keep going. I was always the last one drinking whenever we had a party or anything like that. And because I quit smoking when lockdown began, I was like, screw it, I won't drink. And now the pubs are opening up again. I'm really not that bothered about it. I guess what I'm saying is I'm at that age where drinking isn't as fun as it used to be. I don't like hangovers. But yeah, so the book has a whole bunch of like cocktails in there. What else do they have? The main courses look nice. I want to make it one of the desserts. Oops. There you can actually see my like hoodie. There we go. Now I believe this is the last piece, last block that's over the edge, so I won't have to lift it up anymore. After this bit. The big question is, what do I play next? I have a game that I would love to play that I think a lot of you would like to play yourselves if you're into any sort of tower defense game. I don't know how interesting it'll be for streaming now. And I had Bloom Tower Defense 6. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a stream on that simply because I want to show it off. Bloom Tower Defense 5 was amazing. Manny did suggest Final Fantasy, so I might do that. Because I got next week off. Or what I might do next week is do The Walking Dead Season 1 and then one episode a day, then do marbles and make a marbles badge and a marbles champion badge. There, to see how my brain works now. How can I make something a badge? Ooh, The Walking Dead, yes. Have you ever played the games? They're like the, what do you call them? The Wolf Among Us. It's like that, but I watched the first 2 seasons. Oh, I watched up until he got to the prison. Was it a prison? I think it was. It got to one point but nothing was really happening. And I sort of didn't go back to it. Because that's my issue. If I'm watching something and it gets to a point where it's like, okay, there's nothing pulling me back, that's where I tend to stop. I'm also one of the people who's like, please tell me it's finished so I can watch it all and not have to wait. Because I enjoy this whole watch one thing a week, go and talk to a bunch of people about it who will be like super excited for it. There's also that I just want to watch the next episode next. now. Bloons Tower Defense 6 is actually kind of popular here on Twitch for tower defense game. It is the best tower defense game ever. If you can get Bloons Tower Defense 5, because I completed that like 4 times, it's such a good game. I mean, I got every medal, completed every map, got all the achievements, did all the daily missions. I did that, like that was 2012 to 2014, that game. How do they have Bloons Tower Defense 6? I think it's still on sale, but that is a game I will happily play. I'm guessing it's interesting to work on stream, because I could be like, I will do this level using only this monkey. But yeah, if monkeys throwing darts at balloons. If I was ever get a tattoo, I was actually considering one of the Bloons Tower Defense monkeys, simply because of how much I played it. But I do think it's been that important, like that Bloons was like top tier class game. It is. They just released Bloons Pop on mobile, and it's free. Oops, I might have just flashed my address. Oh well. So this is Bloons Pop. I'm going to show you. Oh, you can see me. That's perfectly angled. Am I showing it? It's 2 point. Hang on. This is a very disorganized stream, but it's fine. So Bloons Pop. Completely free game. Magic Pouch. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. We're just painting and I'm currently showing off balloons. So I'm going to try and do this upside down. Let's grab the stuff. What you get? When it loads, you can see me again. Hello. I don't have my pixel on. No one told me. I'll put my pixel on in a second. So you got all these levels of these balloons. So they're all balloons. It's upside down for you, isn't it? There you go. And now what you do is you aim. You'll take out all the balloons. Very simple game, and I highly recommend it. But we are painting today. I recommend it because it's balloons and it's free. But welcome in, Magic Pouch. How have you been? Hope you've been well. Did you guys ever hear Bloons Battles? It's basically Bloons Tower Defense, but you battle each other. You can like, as you get points, you can actually send balloons to the other side. Nice painting, thank you. It is a paint by numbers. This is the final stream, so I plan on streaming all day to get it finished. But I think if you went back and worked out all the streams, I've spent over 24 hours on this one painting already. Now, as you guys point out, I'm easily distracted. Yeah, I remember, like, I'll tell you the story of balloons. I was in college when what do they call it? Okay, so it was a 28-week course where they sent people who basically didn't behave or do well in school and didn't have a job. So they just finished school, they just finished college, but they hadn't got a job yet. And they basically had all of them were like interesting characters. But whilst I was there, me and a girl and my mate Bob, because he's of course was there with me, started playing balloons, the very first Bloons Tower Defense. There's like 3 levels, and we played that pretty much non-stop. And whilst we were there, I believe Bloons Tower Defense 2 came out, so we started playing that as well. And we absolutely adored it. Then you know, by that point we obviously finished that course, kept going. I bumped into that girl like 3 years later. She told me Bloons Tower Defense 3 was out. So I went back and I played that because she was still playing it. But we played that. And I think it's about then Bloons Tower Defense 4 came at some point. I played a lot of that. But that was in 2012 when I moved out the first time. Because I went back and forth a lot. To put it in perspective, this is my 20th move. This move coming up will be the 20th time I've moved. I've moved once every 3 years. No. Twice every 3 years. I got a koala in the news. Oh, there. But koalas are so nice. There's a Bloons Tower Defense 5 came out, which was an amazing game. Why is this? What's wrong with my phone? Right. Oh. You can buy 5 pops for £35. Just letting you guys know. Oh, they did that fine. But yeah, so I played Bloons Tower Defense 5 non-stop. They released it on mobile, so I had it on my phone, on my tablet. Then they released it on PlayStation, Xbox, and then I got a new phone. I actually got a, in Minecraft, I built one of the Zoma Gods, ZOMG. Can't remember exactly what they stand for, but, and I made it in Minecraft, I posted it, and they recognised it on Twitter and said it. This is back when I had a Twitter. I won't tell you the name because it was my full name. You know, I was that person using my real name as my Twitter. But then I quit Twitter after the whole. They're doing a koala census. They are they? That makes sense. Didn't like a lot of them get killed a while ago in the forest fires and stuff? So like koalas are probably endangered. Also, they've all got like what do they have? They just have like an STD pandemic going on between koalas at the moment. And our Bloons Tower Defense 6 came out, and I hadn't touched it because I knew I'd get way too addicted to it. But now it's currently on sale, or the sale might have ended, but it's on Steam for like £1. So I was like, yep. I drop pound coins on the floor before, so if I could buy a game I know I'm going to put hundreds of hours into. One thing I should set up is actually have my Nightbot do like a Discord invite. There's every now and then like, hey, would you like to come to the Discord? Here's the invite. Agree, continue. Okay. Oh, it's from Pop in the Box. So Pop in the Box, best place to buy pops 3 years ago. I've had my last 2 orders came damaged. One, I can show you. So the box is like all damaged on the back. It looks like it's been sat in water. And now, there's nothing back in the gap, is it? As well as, this. You see how the biscuit, it just snapped off. But this is a really rare pop, so I was like, fine, I'll keep it anyway, because they couldn't swap it. So I was like, I'll just keep it. But then I think many people are aware of how my Exodia turned up. Where they cut the top with a knife. And so I've never gone back to use them again. But it's currently a sale on. So I will browse. Oh, I got Harry Potter's in the sale. With all these things, like they sent damaged pops twice, and they got Dragon Ball Z's. I'm distracted. I'll look at it later. I still didn't buy anything on Stream Star. I hope I don't forget about it in the end. When does it end? So Bloons Tower Defense 6 I recommend if you like tower defense games. even if you don't, I still would recommend it because I don't play many tower defense games. But I do enjoy that one. Okay, so now we're getting to the more thin bits. I guess. What? Thin? 8 extra. Yeah, so you got a week. I thing is, I don't know how it works. I know there's some PC games that can get you achievements, but I'm not sure I had to buy them from like the Microsoft Store or if the Steam version would work. Also, you can hear my blind getting blown about, just say, and I'll close the window. So I can hear in the background just the tapping. I've also got my window open, so again, if you can hear any of the background noise, just let me know. Reasonably quiet, still like 9:30 in the morning. I don't think many people are going to be awake. Or if they are, they'll be at work. That's the thing with working on the evenings, you forget how early some people do wake up. Just know, when you guys saw off the £12 Harry Potter pop, I was close to ordering the wool because it looked so cool. I even found a website that had them on sale here. Luckily they are still crazy expensive here, so I didn't. Yeah, they got because I don't know how, if you're into Harry Potter, I presume you are because almost everyone is, but they got the Patronuses and they are like slightly transparent. They look amazing and I want all of them because I have no self-control when it comes to pops or collecting things. For example, how many of you guys have these? You're going to hear loud noise. Okay. Ow. I ran on my toe. Now I broke. Oh. You see? Do you see there's a box here on the floor and a box here? Have you guys ever heard of top trumps? This is filled with them. I have almost all of them. So this are all pigs. Is it showing up on camera? It is. So these are all pigs. And that's one pack. I have like almost all of the top trumps. I actually have something pop layered that I didn't realise. I have a Bob Ross pop keychain. Nice. One of my Instagram friends collects the keychain pops. He's got loads. Also, they got monster trucks, Ben 10, farm animals, Dragon Ball Z. Top trumps were great fun at school. I was thinking about getting a few decks to play with my wife. I would recommend it. So when I was a kid I used to collect them, and as an adult I just never stopped because I was like, I've got almost all of them. I actually so here's a fun fact for you. The guy who sort of invented them or was running the company at the time, when he got married he gave all his guests a set of official wedding top trumps. And they are considered the rarest pack because there's literally like 100 of them. And it's believed a lot of them were just thrown into a drawer somewhere and forgotten. Now, I've never seen one for sale, so how true it is, I'm not sure. But yeah, I love the top trumps. I got loads. I think I got almost all of them. Okay, it's been an hour and I've done the ring. It's going to take me forever if I don't get back to us. So what's that? Number 12. I'm 12. But yeah, I'm just a collector. I collect a lot of stuff. Like Crazy Bones, I've got the entire Go-Go set. Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards I used to collect. I haven't bought any in a long time now. Pop Funkos are one big thing. You could argue paint by numbers, as I've got 4 of them now. But I don't know. But the thing is, it's like you look at my pops. I've got 96 pops. If you were to work out the value of them all when they were new and how much they are estimated to be now, I am £500 up. So I have made an investment and it is paying off, but I would never sell them because they're mine. But yeah, I don't know, I just love collecting things. But not like I see some collectors and they collect stuff in a box and never use them. I tend to actually like open them out of the box and enjoy them. When I move, depending on how much space I have, I want to make shelves where I can actually put the pops on the shelf and have them on display and not just in the boxes behind me. The only reason I have done it so far is I don't have the space. Once I move into a smaller house, I'm pretty sure I won't have the space, but you know. But yeah, I do enjoy collecting the top trumps. I have a thing called Top Trump Tournament, which is a way of playing games with them. So you can like, and I've done that before, you get a couple of mates round, have a few drinks and stuff, and just have like, play board games, and I have a way of using the top trumps, and you can pick out whichever, it's like 6 packs you can use in each game. It's a good way of connecting them all. What else I collect? Like Venom, Top Gear had a couple of trading cards out, collected a bunch of them. Doctor Who did a trading card thing for a while, so I collected some of them. Duel Masters, and that's I wish I continued that. Those were really good artwork cards, but nope. But it's like now you look on Instagram, shiny Pokemon, I collect shiny Pokemon. My god, have I got a lot of shiny. I spent days, if not weeks, of my life dedicating to shiny Pokemon. This is the issue I find. Some people don't mind like getting given shiny Pokemon, and that's fine. But what they don't seem to understand is I will never give mine away. And I don't want any free ones because I have put so much work to get the ones I own. You know, like, if you want shiny Pokemon, people can hack them into the game for you. So so you give them the value, if that makes sense. My shiny Pokemon are worth it all the time I spent collecting them. I don't ever plan on trading them away. Can you guys hear my Xbox? It's going really loud. I've done the thing again. There we go. No Xbox sounds, that's good. The fan is just like super loud. I just thought I wouldn't be able to buy any of those pops in that sale anyway because I had to buy a headset. So I bought new bedding, now it's like my big spend, and the headset happened, and now it's like my emergency money. I like to try and keep some money aside just in case. Galaxy, welcome in, how are you? Whilst you have said hello, so I will give you the badge. I'll do it now whilst I am think of it. Obviously we'll be checking all the badges later when we finished. Either I finish this or Deer's finished work, or whenever someone tells us to do it. Obviously right now, being on stream, we cannot do it. But welcome in, Galaxy. How have you been? I've cut off the side of my checkbook, hang on. There we go. I'm doing good, mate. Just woke up by a lightning. Oh, do you have a storm? Oh, that's a story I just thought about actually. How have I not told this story? Okay. So, go back to 2012. A lot happened that year. But basically it was a complete crazy year, and it got to the point where I think it was August or September. When me and my mate were like, hey, that was a crazy year. Let's go on holiday. And he has a flat in Spain. Like we can there's a flat in Spain that we can access at any point. So we decided, hey, let's just go over there. So we jumped on a plane, let's say like 2 weeks later, and over we go. Now we went owl season. You know, I don't know what the exact seasons are, I don't know the exact dates. I think it was even later than September, thinking about it. But it might be in October. Either way, we went there. It was on the beach, and we're just chilling. It was, it was cold, but at the same time, I'm from England, it's freezing all the time. I bought a lilo. Inflatable, you lie on it, go into the ocean. So at one point we were like, yeah, I'm going to go for a swim. So we went out, or I went out, my mate stayed on the beach. I was just swimming, I was like, hey, water's calm, let's just swim for a mile, see how far we can go. And I probably, I don't know how long it went, but at some point I heard, what was that? And what it was the netting that, to keep out the sharks and stuff, hitting the bottom of my lilo. It's like, oh, that's bad, I should probably turn around. Well, I wasn't in any hurry. I thought, part of me was kind of like, oh, there's sharks, I wonder if I can see one. There wasn't sharks in that area, apparently, according to my mate. But he said, you're not supposed to go over there. They should keep you out of the boat lanes or whatever. I can't remember the exact reason. But basically, according to my friend, all the nets, all the beaches have netting at a certain length, so if you to stop people going too far or for dangerous things coming in. But so I started turning around, and I noticed as I turned around, there's a lot of grey clouds everywhere. And I just turn around, I go back over the netting, and the weather just changes. like, all of a sudden, it's dark clouds, it's hammering down with rain, the waves are like a good 4 or 5 feet, and I'm on a lie low as far out as I can go. It took me ages to get back, and I was just, paddling, just using my arms, going up and down. Like, at one point I was legit standing up and then facing straight down, thinking I'm going to die, when Mabel said to try and work out who does he call. And I said it was out of season, so there wasn't really many people about. It took me almost 45 minutes to get back to the beach. The waves were so high. This was in a area that can get hit by monsoons around them. So I don't really know the exact details, and Mate who was saying this tends to exaggerate stuff. But that was by far one of the moments where I'm there thinking, I'm going to get pulled out to sea here. This is such a stupid thing I've done. We went too far. Well, it's doing now, but it was on that beach where May almost got killed by a squid as well. He went out snorkeling, went past the netting. Trying to think where this is in Spain. I think it's like Torrevieja. I can't remember the exact wording. It's more of a people actually live there than people go and visit. But yeah, so go back to my mate. So he went out snorkeling. I wasn't there on this holiday. This was a different holiday, but same place. Because I said there's a flat there we can use. So he went over to it. He goes over the netting and he's out snorkeling. He said at one point he sees these 2 blue eyes. He's like, what is that? Not realising their eyes at the moment. The next thing he knows, this squid has just grabbed a hold of him. It's just like tangled up in his legs, all sorts, and it's trying to pull him under. Like, his downstairs had a leopard print. That's how entangled he was with this squid. I sort of laughed, he almost died, but it's a very tell story. Let me tell you this, he was punching this squid in the face, but obviously when you're on the water, it's difficult to punch when you're on the water. But he said eventually he managed to get it off him, and he just started swimming back. A lot of ink everywhere. Eventually he gets back to the tent, but he said it stung him. He's allergic to natural poisons, so anything like wasp stings or anything like that is really bad for him. And so he passed out on the beach, pitching a tent, just completely gallery for a few hours, and then eventually came back around and it was a I sort of laugh, but you know what men are like, because the fact they said it grabbed his trunk, and when he ripped off the tentacle and left a leopard print, we just said he took the squid out for a nice dinner and pulled. Oh god, yeah, this is Bob again. I've got to get Bob on a video call one day. He just works so much. It'd probably be a weekend. You know what? I've spoken to him a while ago, and he's basically, because of all of taking out the whole world taking a year off, he's trying to catch up, and all these companies are trying to catch up, so he's so buried with work at the moment. I rarely see or speak to him. But he's one of those people, he gets in a relationship and he just disappears off the face of the earth. So it's always difficult to get hold of him, but what is up with you and your mates trying so hard to game over your life? Hey. The difference is, and this is what I've always said, some people live their lives. I survived my life. It's actually outrageous how often near-death stuff happens. I've just been like, that happened. It's just, everyone's life's different. Mine seems to be on hard mode, and I make it hard on myself by doing dumb stuff. Like, there used to be a hill near our old house, and it was, let's say it's about a mile long. I'm not exactly sure how long it was, but going from top to bottom took, about 4 or 5 minutes, given what we were doing. You know those kids that have little push scooters that fold up? Me and my mate used to sit on them and go down this hill. And this hill was curved around, so imagine this, so this is the start of the hill, it goes down, and it curves, and there's nothing to stop you at the bottom. It's just a patch of grass that's about 10 feet long, and then there's just a sheer drop of about 20 feet. And so we go down this hill, and you get to this grass, and you have to jump off your scooter. Because if you do not, your scooter will just keep going. Especially when it's dry, like that grass did not slow us down at all. Now doing that alone, one of our mates broke his wrist. I took a chunk out of my knee. I've got like a hole in my knee because of it. My mate almost put his testicles inside him after he hit the grass, and it was there, so he sunk, and then he kept going into, this is the handlebars, his legs. I sort of laugh, but it's so funny now. I accidentally drove my mate into a bus, and he almost got speared by one of the branches. I did many times go over and down that 20-foot gap. One time doing a backflip and landing upside down on the bottom. How was I broke back. There's no way I'd ask it. A bucket list of close to death experiences, exactly. Is there a close to death experience, Brad? There should be, shouldn't there? My issue would be people might. I guess I could tell the story. Everyone's got a story where they nearly died. I mean, I was born blue. Who knows what that means? I was born and I didn't know how to breathe. They had to help me learn to breathe because I was turning blue. So day one, from the very beginning, it's like, here we go. The thing is, I laugh at it now, but it's outrageous stuff I used to get up to. Because I said I didn't have internet for the first part of my life, and then I didn't get on social media until I was 21. That's why I got so many crazy life stories, because I was just outside all the time. Couldn't do it now. This is the problem. It's everything's great, and you get to 25 and you break your brain. It's okay, I'm just going to not go outside. Alright, number 2. It's been fun. But yeah, if I can ever get Bob on a stream or a Discord chat, he is amazing at telling stories. So I tend to be like, this happened, done. But he will tell you all sorts of stories. One of his stories, he once drove a forklift truck. This is just one of his insane stories I now say out loud. I'm Jesus Christ, how are we not dead? He once drove a forklift truck into the support. He has a forklift driver. He drove it into the support, because obviously you've seen warehouses, you've probably seen videos where you hit one of them and they all just come crashing down like dominoes. He almost did that. Drove a forklift truck into the fencing, and it fell, but it became. He drove into it, took out the bar, but somehow it then fell onto his truck, and it stayed. He was now supporting it, so he couldn't move it. But he said one of the things that did fall out and land on top of him was a book, Jamie Oliver cookbook. And because they didn't want to move him because he was technically safe inside the forklift truck, as they were trying to fix the frame. He just sat inside reading this book about cooking as he feels trying to save his life. He's gonna laugh. It's just so funny to me though now. This is how like, oh yeah, so this happened today. I'm going to just invite him to the Discord. My phone! I do dare as a fairy. Zodiac has drawn dare as a fairy. I want to see this. I want to see this in the Discord. I'm going to pop the Discord link just in case I need to actually advertise. I should have posted on Instagram. Discord. So if anyone else wants to join, because Dare has made, no, Zodiac has made Dare as a fairy. Look at that, that's amazing, Zodiac. That's so cool. I would like to be a fairy, if you're still here, Zodiac. I'm glad you like it. That is so cool. And that does, yeah, that represents Deer if she was a fairy. I do sort of joke that he's a dark witch and that like he's evil and all that. But to be fair, Deer's awesome and super helpful and super kind. So she would actually be a good person. But I think she likes the aesthetic of being the Dark Lord. Let's do shit. I'm dropping the Rick and stuff and going full fairy now. You should. Full fairy. You know, so I first heard about fairies. Sorry, I thought I could hear someone in my house. I had a book. I'm not sure if it was mine or my sister's. Well, it would be my sister's. But it was about fairies, and it's like actual law or olden day law. Because I remember there's one. It's like you can see a ring of toadstools, never stand inside it, because fairies make it. And you go in there, you start dancing, and years and years and years will go by, and you'll just be in there dancing, and no one can see you in there. And that stuff like that is all about like really creepy and evil fairies, and it's basically like, look how beautiful they look, but they're actually super evil. And so to me, fairies are actually evil. And then I watched Peter Pan, and it's got Tinkerbell in it. I'm like, yeah, she seems like she hates Wendy for no reason. Fairy pranksters, yeah, that's what they're described as, they're pranksters. I'm definitely hearing noises, so I'm going to go and check there's no one in my house. Not sure that you're picking up. It might be outside actually. So I have really bad hearing, so I find it very difficult to tell where sound is coming from. I just know sound exists. I'll be right back. Back with breakfast. Nice, I'm back. There is noises in my house. My washing machine is on. I turned it on a while ago, so it's just doing this like. I will close my window as well. I am back. Back with breakfast. What breakfast did you get, Lady Asker? It is really, really good. Good morning, Galaxy. I see you posting it in the Discord. What's it? For English breakfast. For English breakfast is the best breakfast. Basket was going to send me a receipt on how to make a American breakfast. I'm kind of obsessed with English breakfast now. Yeah, out there, English breakfasts are amazing, and they are one of the first things I learned to cook. I don't like cooking bacon, because I can never tell if they're done, same with eggs. So I tend to overdo them, because I now know they're done, so I'm just like, don't go poison myself. So I cook them overdone, but they are amazing. I'm back to check something over here. Yeah, no worries, Galaxy. And I said, I don't thought to be able to stay. You can check out whatever. Oatmeal with banana and cinnamon. This would have been an English breakfast. I want an English breakfast now. So there's a place near in my hometown where they will deliver you pretty much anything you ask. So they'll deliver you a cooked breakfast or a cooked roast, except it's in a box. So it's all kind of must. So what you're asking for is must flavoured like whatever meal you want. But I am pretty unhealthy burger, so I have to deem myself say. Yeah, I disagree. If your burger had a salad in it, or any sort like tomato or vegetable in it, redeemed itself. No, I shouldn't talk. I have been told now, because I've actually seen people, the fact that I'm 30 and I'm still full self-hair. Not got a dad bod yet. They're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know. I have good genes. Because I don't realise it until I look at my mates and it's like, wow, you're like almost bald now. That's just me blowing my own trumpet there. But like, yeah, he's here, 30, I am actually still. Oh, I'm just lucky. There was a slice of tomato there. Exactly, so you had a vegetable, you're healthy. Like, I drink Dr. Pepper. I'm sure it's filled with peppers. This is a fruit or veg. I mean, as a doctor, you know what they say, keep a doctor. Have a doctor a day, keeps the apples away. Could you imagine if I spent like 12 hours doing this and I still didn't finish? This may be my longest stream, just saying it now. And we're like an hour in. I get the impression it's gonna be a long stream. Fries are potatoes are vegetables, boom, you deserve some bacon. Exactly. Exactly. You wanna know what I want to buy? And I've seen them on Good Mythical Morning. It's one of those things that it just deep fries anything you put in and it comes out battered. I want that. Just put like everything in it. I really need to get like online banking so I can just see how much money's in my bank. I'm tempted to get takeaway today. I have no money left, but if my card works, if I try and the card works, it's a future problem. Being hungry is a now problem. dear, you had English breakfast. I'm guessing, I think it was Curse who did the breakfast thing. Might be Maddie, I know they all do like tier lists and battles. I saw someone doing it the other day. I think it was Curse, because I think it was in Discord. Oh yes. Oh yeah, they're great, aren't they? Like, I highly recommend them. Want to cook it. So what do you have in your English breakfast? Did I have bacon, eggs, mushrooms, black pudding, toast? Sometimes I have fried bread, but I normally go with toast. Tomatoes, sausages of course. I'll get sausages in there. Baked beans. Bacon, egg, sausage, toast, barbecue, beans. Yeah. Pretty much me, but you need to add Galaxy just got a Pikachu badge. Ooh, nice. I will add that now. Galaxy, you've earned the Pikachu badge. See, here's the thing. So, the only two people who have that are Lady Soraya and Galaxy. So, if they were to get all the other badges, that would put them in first place. But nice, Galaxy, nice. I wonder what Deer's on now for Galaxy, Zodiac. I know Asetka was on like 17,000. I think he's going for the 100,000 badge first. Makes sense. I mean, if you earn that, it's going to be a long time for anyone else earns that. With how erratic my streaming is, difficult to earn. But nice, you're the second person to own that. I'm glad I'm streaming again. Pikachu, exactly. Hey Galaxy, feel free to like look around at the other badges as well, because that gives you like a 1 point advantage over most other people, because that's one of the harder badges to earn. 19. You hear my tab on it. I'm at 2k, I'm going for the Pikachu badge, yeah. Not an easy badge to earn. Because I think this, how much do you earn in an hour? I'm sure some Google Deck you can work it out, but I think you earn like 800 in an hour. Maybe more. Oh, I turned my Xbox off. Damn it. I've got to click it here again, so I need the points. Just turn my Xbox off. Zodiac. Zodiac is making fairies. They look amazing. Zodiac, you're not on Instagram, are you? No, I am not. Just say if you I'd follow you, you can post your artwork and stuff, but I also understand not everyone is, like I can't stand Facebook or Snapchat, so I'm never going to go on them again. Debating Twitter, because I saw people like, what was her name? Lil Wyhorn went on there and got like 100 followers after like a week of being on Twitter. He said it's super easy once you're on Twitter. So I was like, But I also don't want just like 100 random people. Streaming's a weird one because I don't actually like attention or want fame. I like it being just a group of my mates, but at the same time I do need to actually advertise. Still that internal battle. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's finally Friday. It is. And don't you like that I finally got Friday where I can stream all Friday. It's like, yes, this should always be a thing. If I ever got to the point where I was able to just do this full time, I would definitely do the stream all Friday. Every event would be on the Friday, all stuff like that. I'm thinking we'll do a movie night tonight as well, because it is Friday. So I'm not sure what on. I haven't planned any movies, but because we're talking about penguins, I think we should try to find something penguin themed, either on Amazon Prime or Netflix. I love to mod and do all the stuff behind the scenes stuff all the time, like video editing, for example. I did see you made one for Curse. Was that fan made, or did he pay you to do it? Because I like Happy Feet. If Happy Feet is on there, we will watch it. Because that's one thing I'm super mindful of, is like, because like I understand a lot of people do stuff for free, especially when you're small. You kind of need to like have people do favours for you, because you can't realistically pay people. Fan made, I came up with the idea myself, because it was a really good edit. It was a really good edit. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm very aware that, so for me, having anyone do anything for me, like modding or anything like that, it's such an honour that anyone would help me. I always want to repay them. But some people do just like do it for fun as fans, so it's like, I don't know, what other things. Thank you. Yeah, it's really good. I did watch it. I didn't react to it simply because I was on my main account, but remind me later and I'll jump onto my Friday YouTube channel and react to it. Like give you a like, I mean. But yeah, it's one of those things, if anyone does anything for me, I want to be able to reward them in some way. But the main obvious one is like you pay someone. So if anyone was to do something like that for me, any editor or anything like that, I'd actually get to the point where it's like, okay, but I'm paying you, you know. No worries, I'm just happy that you enjoyed it. Yeah, I did watch it. You said I have to be careful, because I realise I'm a bit relaxed on my personal information, and more people know it than I think so. That's the thing, you start relaxing, don't you? Forget, and people sort of say it, and you're like, oh, didn't even realise you knew that. Anyway, that's one thing I do find about painting, is you end up thinking, and my brain tends to, very interesting, my brain, how it works. So I was told, I think, when you grow up, you learn lessons and stuff. You know, you learn how the world works. And apparently, given the situation I grew up in, my brain learned to make connections differently. And so stuff like when people say, oh yeah, gotta find the love of your life and all that, and want money and all this. I don't have a desire for any of that. I'm happy just laughing at my own jokes. I think the line is, once you enjoy your own company, you don't need anyone. And I think I have sort of found that. Does that make sense? I understand why, but it's also a case of, I don't think it's for me. I have no idea what I'm saying at this point, I'm just rambling. But look, we've done another spike. Done another spike. It looks amazing. But yeah, for those who don't know, they did a fan edit of Curse, and it turned out really good. What it was he kept leaving it mic on, wasn't it? That's where I've seen it. Oh my god, I'm just an idiot. That's where I saw it. Curse was talking about food, and they made a edit of it. If you want it, you can give yourself a shout out and post it in the chat. Your fan edited video. I do not mind. If you want to. We'll see. No worries if not. Guys, if you want later on, jump into the channel Badge Help, and I'll try and help you earn the rest of the badges in the server. Some of them do require a bit more work than most, but that's really like to hear. I'm personally just getting really slow and doing stuff I enjoy. There's no point in saying some wild guy that's not annoying. Exactly, that's how I see it. Like streaming, like I've been told you need to do advertising and all this. I do kind of realise I have to, but I have no desire to be a big Twitch streamer or anything like that. So I'm just doing it for fun. And that's what annoyed me with I really annoyed myself last stream, because last night I started painting. Now I shouldn't have started, because I felt I didn't want to paint. My hands were shaking because I was very stressed out given the work situation at the time. I started streaming, and then no one was tired, so I thought, oh well, no one likes me painting anymore. So I changed the game, and I didn't have any idea what the game was. I wasn't invested, and it just basically was a mess. And I got annoyed at myself, so I'm glad I took the week off or whatever. How long it's been to get myself back into that. I do this for fun, it doesn't matter. If anyone wants to go back to Trick 44, Funny Man Vibes, yeah, there you go, did us all post. But yeah, I do all this fun. Even like my Discord, I want it to be fun. My Discord made for how I viewed what I would want in a Discord, basically. I do still plan to watch Full Metal Alchemist, but I've decided I'm going to finish the High Part first, and then jump over to Full Metal Alchemist. And I'll do the same thing, I'll like watch a couple of episodes, and I'll post a bunch of like, these are my thoughts. What number is that? 9. I know both at the same time. You're watching Full Metal Alchemist and Harry Potter. Now that's impressive. I would, like, I realistically think I could, but it's just, I'm so into Harry Potter at the moment. When I have the time to watch Full Metal Alchemist, my brain will be just sat there like I could be listening to the books more. So, that's what I will be doing. Like, I think it's pretty obvious. I tend to just like, oh, this is amazing, I'm going to do this. I just do it for ages, like a month, and I jump onto the next thing, like, this is amazing, I'm going to just do this. I recommend Full Metal Brotherhood if you've not seen that. I think that's the one I've got saved, because Zodiac and O'Dare both recommended it, or were like, oh, this is amazing, you should see this. And I was like, okay, and I added it to my list. I found where I was going to watch them, but then I realised I'm currently listening to Harry Potter, so I'm going to finish that first, and then I'll do the Full Metal Alchemist. Number 10 is next. But yeah, I believe Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the one they recommended for me. I bet there's pops, and if I get really into it, I'm gonna want to buy the pops. Because that's how my brain works. Oh, for pops. Number 10. There we go. good. It's every time I move it squeaks so bad. Number 15. This one's all gone weird. Oh. This is another reason why I want to get this. I think the paint is starting to go off. Like this one's got like a layer of water above it. Or like it's more liquidy on the top, probably than water, probably paint, but you know. There, how close are you to the Pikachu pads? So on Xbox Live, Xbox Gold, it has a free game at the moment, and it looks like one of those ones that I could do in a day about you exploring an alien world. I heard there, was it there or there? I was asking, how close are you to the Pikachu badge? Believe it or not, I rarely actually say there unless I'm referring to you. Oh, that's not true. I will sometimes say, oh dear. My niece and nephews walk around saying it. Oh, I'm at 3.3k. I think you'll probably get the badge this stream then. So, it's going to be a long stream. I can already tell. But it isn't too bad. I don't mind it. Well, that one doesn't have a... Oh, I don't have another one. Never mind. It's got an incredibly thin line connecting the two spots. Probably, yeah. I definitely think I'm going to be streaming all day. This is fine. This is good fun. Alright. 7. It'd be nice to finally have this dragon done though. It's been sat there for so long. I've had this well over a month, hasn't it? We just want to get back to streaming like Xbox games. Because my Xbox gamer score has slowed down a lot. Like, if you remember, I got 3k in a week so that I could do the 300k stream. Since then, I've got 3k. Because I just haven't been playing Xbox much. That's such a thin line. Hang on. That doesn't make sense. Oh, never mind that. I made a mistake. I thought that said 4, but it's just black paint. 7 does go all the way around. I hope I can continue on my picks on the weekend too. Yeah, I have seen that the update stopped, but I know you've been busy at work. I also hope to see he can carry it on. I hope to get more. Next one I'm thinking is that one like this but not complex as an owl. So I mean black background and rainbow creature, and I think I'm just going to get a lot of them. That could be what I go for. So I see the scenery that you guys are painting, and it is absolutely amazing, but I do not feel like I am talented enough to do the lines that you guys do. Also, I said that website I'd go buy a Pikachu from went down and never came back, so not really sure what happened with that. What is that, mate? Little Lambo. That's very cute. Do you still stream Galaxy? I know I haven't really been able to make many of them. I haven't made anyone stream lately. I missed Sydney and Maddie stream the other day because I fell asleep, and now Maddie stopped streaming as well. I haven't been to Cursor streams in a long time simply because I just can't. The timing's off. I made AK one now. I see no name through the stream very often because they would line up with my work hours. My work is like, let's be the most inconvenient thing in the world. And it's always been that, hasn't it? Like I said, I babysit most mornings and then sit on streams in the afternoon. So with me it's out streaming as well. Why do I find that balance? No, that's doing. This is where it gets complicated. I've got number 2 open, but there's a small 3 just here. So I'm going to work around the 3 and do the big 2. Did that make any sense? But as we go up, I'm going to just be swapping each one so I build up, if that makes sense. Rather than go by numbers, I think it's... I don't know. This is definitely a lot more complex, this one, than my others. Like the other one, I could get away with just picking a colour and doing that colour for the entire painting. I was also thinking, trying to work out some new batches, because my supply is starting to run low. I like to have about 5 ready to go at any one time. Oh, I've turned my AirPods off again. Who invented touch sensitive stuff? It's so annoying. My cat learned to turn it off. Ruby the cat learned to turn it off the other day. Just sat on my desk, no, my niece, sorry, just sat on my lap watching something, got bored, turned the thing around, saw the glowing light, pressed it and turned it off. See, then it then makes a noise, so she found that funny, and so kept turning my AirPods on and off. It's like, well, who made it touch sensitive? I hate touch sensitive stuff, it's so annoying. Oh, I'm just getting old and running a new technology. Either way. Like she said, so she, you know, I'm playing Xbox on this screen, she's watching something on this screen, she just looks and goes, oh, boop, boop, boop. So I'm like, well now I can play Xbox because she's turning it on and off. It's funny now, isn't it, really? I never get show videos of her because, you know, my sister doesn't want her pictures of her niece on the internet to strangers, which is fair. I also don't really watch the pictures. But sometimes he does stuff. I'm like, oh, same with my nephews. They're so smart. I guess they all are. I don't know many 1-year-olds, but like, they will watch me do something and then they will repeat it. It's fascinating to see their brains learning. Let's do 17 because those squares are 17. This will take a while, so all the swapping about and cleaning after each one. Because I said we're now in a bit where it's all small tiles going around the neck. Oh, done now. Damn it. This is why it's annoying when I reset, I've got to sell this up again. So I think we're now in like the quiet zones. I know a lot of you guys are working. And I need to focus on these smaller bits anyway, so I won't be as tired. Because my brain needs to focus. Then I've really been given a time to expect the painting, not painting, the headset. So I'm going to be listening out for the delivery guy. I'm doing it again, going from right to left. Let's do 4. Let's get these bits in here. Okay, I must go now. I'll see you guys later. See you later, Galaxy. Congratulations on the Pikachu badge and the Dragon Head badge. Earned them both today. Hope you have a good day. I'm 18. Oops. Like, I wonder how that sounds when I do that, because it's a bang on my desk, and I'm aware of how loud like my keyboard typing and stuff becomes because of how I have it on my desk. I can actually do that, can't I? Just like, hey, download this game. I'll give you a badge if you do. I'm sure there'll be some people who will do that. I will clean my desk today before streaming. I got so much stuff on here, not even carrying the cables. Yeah, that's one thing I actually need to do, is organise my cables. I have not of cables everywhere, and it becomes a mess. Like the amount of times I've ripped my webcam off the top of my screen by moving my mouse, it's ridiculous. But I need to like tidy them all up basically. But I had a massive spring clean of the entire house when these people came, and I am now determined to stay on top of it. So every morning I'm going to wake up and tidy up everything that is mine. Like, I'm not a messy person, but it's just stuff like the washing up I might leave a bit too long. My washing, I'm like, oh, I can do that later, but then I actually can't because I don't have a washing line. So I have to do it in the mornings. I used to avoid doing it when I was streaming, but now I'm just like, you here, what can I do? I need clothes. But not only that, stuff like polish and keeping things organised, stuff like that, I need to get better at doing. This is actually like hurting my eyes trying to focus on this so much. Oh, I kind of need to put my glasses on, but you know, I'm not sure where they are. But yeah, this desk, it can get very messy because I tend to put stuff on it. Like, I've got plenty of space on this desk. This is a large painting, so I'll have like remotes, my Dr. Pepper, my phones, anything I use lined up on there. I normally have like a notepad as well. So I clean it so that I can do the painting as well. So one of the things, like, are you one of the people, this goes out to everyone listening, are you one of those people who keeps everything spotless all the time? Are you one of those people who like tidies up at the end of the day, you know, or when you there's lots of different people. There's people who like, they use their spinner straight away, or when they get up later they will take it with them, or they'll leave it and everything becomes a mess. Like, what are you? I tend to be rather lazy, and I'm just like, I'll clean it all in one big go one day later. I don't keep clean as I go along. I clean up later when I got time to clean up. I try to keep tidy, but I always fail to make some mess. Sounds like me. I like everything clean and I hate having mess, so I usually keep all things clean. So do you clean as you go along? As in, like, let's say you finish this drink, the moment you're finished with it, will you take it downstairs, or will you leave it there until you go downstairs? Because I do know people who, the moment they're finished with a cup of tea, will go take it and wash it in the sink and put it in the cupboard. I'm the same. I sometimes manage to get it tidy for a while, but then I forget it again. Yeah, I tend to go through like up and down sort of. I try to keep it clean, but eventually I don't. And I sort of let it pile up way too long. Not like this, but it wouldn't stay there more than a couple of hours. That's good. Like, that's what I want to be. I just fail. Because sometimes I'll be like, I'll tidy in the morning. Like, that's my plan, is to currently have it tidy and keep it tidy in the morning. And tidy up later. Because obviously when you're like, my niece and nephews like to have all of the toys out and then go play with the washing basket. And if I tidy them up, they will get all the toys out again and go back to playing with the washing basket. Yeah, if I try to I try to balance out in that direction. I like it clean too, but for some reason my brain handles that as low priority. Exactly. My brain definitely handled it as low priority. It's like hoovering. I said hoover. I know people who hoover every day. I do not hoover every day. I will hoover when I see the floor needs hoovering. What makes it worse for me is I clean as a job, and so my brain's like, I just spent hours cleaning, I don't want to clean again. It's that saying, the shoemaker's children will have no suit made. You do it as a job, you don't really do it in your spare time. Or you don't want to. Yeah, I'm doing the neck by numbers at this point. It's like I really need to organise all my clothes. I've got so many clothes I just don't even wear anymore because I've got better clothes. I need to organise it all and throw a bunch of stuff out. Because that's my next thing on my list is buying. Well, I bought new jeans recently. I need to buy new underwear and socks. And then I need a couple of t-shirts, and I have my wardrobe completed. Also, I've said this before, I seem to get staticky clothes a lot. I think it's because I tumble dry everything, but it's so annoying when you put it on and it's just static in you. Especially, you're like, you put a t-shirt on, it's just static on your nipples. It's so annoying. I bit the bullet last month. Finally bought new clothes for me and my husband. I completely throw half our old stuff out. That's what I've been trying to do. Because it is one of those things, isn't it? It's very easy to just, unless you regularly shop, especially thing as I rarely go to a shop. Clothes are fairly expensive here for some reason. They can be here. I think it's like 40 quid for a hoodie, or at least a decent hoodie. Okay, so there's two ends of the scale. I bought a pair of jeans for £1 and they lasted me like 5 years, and I bought a pair of jeans for £10 and they broke after a month. Like the flies got stuck down, which was really inconvenient. But like this hoodie cost me like 30 quid. I think it's all gonna go for fancy hoodies and stuff. Like my squid that's raving now is a good 30 quid. I like Hollister clothing because that lasted me years, but that's another like 60 quid for a hoodie. But it's really good quality stuff. So instead of going for super cheap stuff, that brace part I had to want to also invest in some high quality stuff really. So yeah, that's what I find is I need to buy expensive clothes because it doesn't last. No, that's wrong. I need to buy high quality stuff because that then becomes expensive. But I don't go for expensive clothes because they're expensive. One of my mates had like 7 shirts, all slightly different colours, all like 120 quid, just because they put a bird on it as a logo. I'm like, you're just wearing a blue shirt. It's like, yeah, but it's got a logo. It's like, yeah, but the logo's like an inch wide. No one sees the logo. Why did you spend 120 quid on that? Like, that's 7 shirts, that's like 800 quid. It's insane. So that I don't do. But like stuff like Hollister's, which is, I guess, a well-known brand, that is all fancy. Do you guys have this? You go to Hollister's and it's like a beach house. The store so is like a beach house. They only employ models. Like literally part of it is like you have to be attractive to work here. It's so insane. But the stuff does work. It is high quality stuff. It lasts years. Like I bought 3 hoodies and it lasted. Well, I still wear them now. The only issue is they are like all torn and frayed at this point because I bought them in 2012. Almost 10 years. I still want to get a hoodie with my pterodactyl on. That would be amazing. You could get something like this. Like, I'll send you a link. There's websites that allow you to buy like hoodies like this where they'll print the pattern on there for you. It might be expensive, but I think they're decent quality stuff. Like, they last. Hello, Ruby. Do you guys just hear Ruby flying at 100 miles an hour? Yeah? I don't know if my mic's picking her up. She's in the window. Ooh, meow, did you hear her? She does exist. I can guarantee she'll want to sit here. Right here. This is where she wants to sit. I saw a fleeting shadow and heard meow. Yeah, she flew in here. Yeah? She's telling me about her adventure. Now she's going to sit in my window. She's been out all morning. So cute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she like would have appeared just in stream. She doesn't, you know, Ruby told you she makes an entrance by flying into the room super loud. This is another one that's gone really worry. So most of the paint by numbers have been grey. I don't know if you guys have had issues. I know some people have. But like this 5's gone worry, and I think it's because it's old. You know, it's been left out for a while. I got a fun story for you guys. About 6 doors down, there used to be a cat there that had 3 legs. The owner moved a while ago though, but this cat was there. None of the cats bothered her, you know, they left her alone in the garden. There's a lot of cats around there, but most of them were just like, yeah, you're cool, we won't mess with you, you can have your garden. You know how territorial a cat can be. But this cat kept escaping this new house, and the new house was like 6 miles away, I think. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but it's good, like 45-minute walk in a straight line, I think. She just fell out my window. Are you okay? What happened? Come here. I'll finish this story in a minute. Come here.